All right, we're back here on SportsLine. Our phone lines are open. 737-7767 is the number. Several lines are open if you'd like to chime in. We're talking football tonight, 10 days away from Titans training camp. Players report next Friday at St. Thomas Sports Park. They will then hit the field for practice number 1 on Saturday afternoon. That will be open to the public. If you want to go out and check out your 2016 Titans, that is your first opportunity to do so. A lot of the college programs report then the following week, August 2nd, 3rd, somewhere in there, to get back on the field and get set for their own fall camps and the start of football season, which is not that long away. Thank heavens for that. To the phones we go. Good evening, Brian. You are first up tonight here on SportsLine.
Excellent. Hey, I think we need a more exciting coach. I think that I could get a better record by having the offensive coordinator call the plays and going up and down the sideline, drinking lemonade and being a cheerleader. I just don't have the confidence in this coach. I think we need a marquee coach, a big, exciting guy. I just don't know. I just don't see him. You know, I just don't see him as a head coach. I'm sorry. I just think we need somebody a little more. I don't know how to describe it. Just a little more oomph, a little more, a little more of an exciting cheerleader guy in the locker room. Maybe if we had, a couple of veteran players that were really, leaders. Just, I don't know, it's like, it reminds me of the movie Major League. We looked like, who are these guys? You got all these guys. Now we got a lot of guys that spent a lot of money on. And, I just don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, that's interesting, Brian. And certainly the track record is not good for Mike Mularkey. He had an under 500 record in Buffalo. His first season, they were knocking on the door of the playoffs. Year 2, they went backwards, and he was out of a job. The Jacksonville situation was tough. Nobody has really won in Jacksonville, and he got 1 year before management came in and turned it around. But still, when you look at the overall body of work, it is not a good record. And he comes in last year as the interim coach here and goes 2-7 to finish the season. That doesn't exactly instill confidence, but he has figured out how to win over this locker room, and he certainly won over Titans ownership. And here's how he did it. And whether this is worthy of earning him the job full-time or not, obviously it did. We can debate whether that should have happened or not. That's fair. But they gave him direct orders to protect Marcus Mariota, make sure he got through the season last year, make sure that he wouldn't be irreparably damaged from what happened. And despite a bunch of injuries on the offensive line and an offense that wasn't particularly friendly to protecting the quarterback as it was installed and run by Ken Whisenhunt, Mike Mularkey did a pretty good job of doing that. Now, Mariota got beat up at the end of the season, actually missed the end of the year, but not with a serious injury, and that was more individual breakdowns than scheme issues. Mularkey did what he could. He simplified some things. He got the most out of a guy like Dorial Green-Beckham, who, up until that point of the season, was basically a non-factor in the offense for the Titans. He had a couple 100-yard games down the stretch for the Titans last year. It's stuff like that that showed Titans ownership that he had a pulse on what this team was. And now in the offseason, you bring in a new general manager, John Robinson, that has a very different vision for what this team is going to be like. And those two seem to have a good partnership working with each other. Now, whether that will lead to wins, we will certainly have to find out. But that's how Mike Mularkey got this job, by listening to ownership and following through on what they wanted to do and what their plan for this team was. And now there's a new vision within the front office and where they're headed. It'll be interesting to see where they do indeed end up going. You brought up in there that you don't like a coach calling plays, or you'd like to sit on the sideline and be sipping lemonade. Mike Mularkey's not calling plays. And that's something that may be exciting for Titans fans after Ken Whisenhunt was so involved with the offense. Mike Mularkey wanted to simplify things. He wants the terminology to be less confusing. He wants jobs to be more clearly defined for guys because he doesn't want them thinking. He wants them out there knowing what they're supposed to do and then, boom, reacting. That's what he wants his offense to be. And I think they spent a lot of time this offseason doing that. He brought in his guy, and Terry Robisky, somebody he's worked with for a long time, to be the offensive coordinator. Now, Robisky hasn't been an offensive coordinator and called plays for a while, so he's going to have to shake some of the rust off there, but that is his job. He also kept the guy who was the offensive coordinator at the end of last season, and that's Jason Michael. And frankly, Jason Michael was the offensive coordinator under Ken Wisenhunt, not always the play caller, at least until the end of last year. He's still there, though. So this transition had him as the middleman there, and he's now the quarterback's coach, constantly working with Marcus Mariota. I think all of that is positive. Again, will it equal the wins? I don't know. But the setup has been relatively smooth in this transition, and you add in all these new pieces, we'll see. We'll see what they can do. One of those new pieces that they'll get to play with on the offensive side of the ball is Derrick Henry, former Alabama running back who won the Heisman Trophy last year, set the SEC all-time single-season rushing record. It was a remarkable career. Of course, a national championship at the end of the year as well. Now he comes here to Tennessee. And it's interesting because for a guy who was the best college player in the country, or at least so say the Heisman voters, he went 45th overall in the NFL draft. Some people think he's too big. Some people think he's not fast enough. Henry will tell you his size serves a purpose, and he can still run by you. He's a guy who knows how to win. He's a guy that is not going to have to carry the ball every down because DeMarco Murray is also here. He's totally fine being a part of that partnership in the backfield, but is plenty confident that he can be a very good NFL running back and be a part of the group that helps turn the Tennessee Titans around. A couple weeks ago, I got the chance to sit down with Derrick Henry to talk about his transition from Alabama to the NFL and his expectation for being a rookie in the National Football League. Well, Derrick, 6 weeks into your NFL career, basically, how's this experience been compared to what you envisioned?
Just adjusting to everything, coming in, learning. It's a new system, new experience in the NFL now, so it just being prepared for everything, going out on the field, making sure you know what to do, just so you can go out there and execute and fly around and play fast. So I think that's been the biggest adjustment just for us and the rookies. You spent a lot of time at Alabama. Now you come to Music City. Did you know anything about Nashville before, and what do you think about Tennessee? I've heard of Nashville, just never been here. Been in Knoxville because we played Tennessee, but I knew the Titans were here. I didn't know much. I know country music. That's pretty much it. You a country music fan at all? I really listen to country music, but I had no problem with it at all. You excited to explore the city once you get a little downtime at some point? Yeah, I definitely get around once I have free time because I haven't really seen much of it. What's the biggest change that you've seen so far about the NFL game? The biggest change as far as just how's it different than what you've done for so many years at Alabama? I feel like it's a grown man's game. And I feel like college you have more structure and people guiding you and where you need to go, but NFL, you're on your own with your weight, your responsibilities, make sure you know what to do, just you're prepared. Anybody going to hold your hand and baby you. You got to man up and do what you got to do. Nick Saban obviously was an NFL coach at one time. How do you think your experience at Alabama and getting coached by a guy like him and that staff prepared you for this? Coach Saban's a great coach, and he has a great staff, and they run their program just like NFL business. And it's a business-like approach. Come in there, work, do what you got to do. If you don't, you ain't going to play. So they run it just like NFL. A lot of competition in that locker room as well, just to get on the field, right? Yeah, definitely. You said SEC rushing records. You won the Heisman Trophy. You won a national championship. As you look back on that time in Tuscaloosa, what are you most proud of? I think a national championship, because my first 2 years there, we battled for one, never got one. And the last year, we were able to get one. I feel like that's the most thing I cherish the most, because we worked so hard to get to that moment. For me, with my teammates and coaches, who we all worked hard for the whole off season and going into the season, man, just something I cherish for the rest of my life.
A lot of people around here, everybody around here knows you as the football player on the field, but we saw an emotional side when you accepted the Heisman Trophy. Mm-hmm. Can you take me to that moment and what that meant to you?
Something I remember cherish for the rest of my life too. Something I grew up wanting to do as a kid, and I'm sure every kid that plays football wants to go to play college football, dreaming of winning the Heisman. And it's just a surreal moment for me, and I want to make sure I said the right things. So you only get that moment once, so I want to make sure I hit every point, thank everybody who I need to thank, my teammates, coaches, my family, everybody who helped me get there. Then I wanted to reach out to the younger guys like the youth and just tell them to follow their dreams, keep God first, always pray, and God would never lead you in the wrong place. So just want to reach out to them and let them know.
You're the second Heisman Trophy winner in the past 2 years to come here to Tennessee. Do you and Marcus have kind of a secret handshake now, or how does that work around here?
Oh, no, we don't have a secret handshake, but we talk a lot. We got a commercial coming up later on this month, and I just been talking to him and asking him questions. He's a great guy and a great leader.
When do you guys get to go to the Heisman House?
I think at the end of this month we go out there to Pasadena.
Oh, that's awesome. You looking forward to that moment with everybody?
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Just to be with some legends. That'd be cool.
What's it mean to come in here? And the talk was last year we got to give him some help in the running game. Now you come in. It seems like a pretty good marriage to have a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, Heisman Trophy winning running back on the same offense. How do you think that's going to work here?
I'm excited. I'm ready to come in and help this organization win games. But right now, it starts off with what we're doing, what we've been doing from where we got here to now. So I'm focused on me getting better and carry on to training camp. But right now, I'm just focused on me getting better, then let everything else take care of itself.
Derek, I'm a little curious. A guy considered by everybody the best college football player in the country last year. When you don't get selected in the NFL draft till number 45, does that weigh on you? Is that a little something that'll give you a chip on your shoulder as you start? Oh yeah, that's something I'll never forget. Just sitting there waiting and not knowing when your name is going to be called. But it's still a blessing. You get an opportunity to live your dream. But that's something I always remember and always be fuel to me. There's a little bit of a sense out there that Alabama running backs haven't been what they've been billed in the NFL. Do you sense any pressure, that, especially after winning the Heisman Trophy, that you've got a lot to live up to here? I just worry about what I can control, keep being myself, keep working hard, keep learning as a player, and progressing as a player as I'm here. I can't worry about the outside things, the outside expectations. Just do what I came to do, is play football and help this organization win games. You're not the prototypical back. Your size at 6'3", 247, at least that's what you're listed at. How does that serve you? Well, I'm not 247 anymore. I was only at the combine because I drank a lot of water. But, just go ahead and play my position and learn it and be coachable. And go out there and make plays, whether it's me catching the ball, or running the ball, pass blocking, just so I can help this offense. You can still run by people, right? Yeah, definitely. You've drawn some comparisons to a guy who made a lot of money and ran for a lot of yards around here in Eddie George. Did you watch him growing up, and do you see that comparison? Definitely watched Eddie George growing up. I like Eddie George. He's a big physical back and ran the ball hard and did a lot of great things for his organization. But I got a chance to meet Eddie. He's a great person and gave me a lot of advice when we were at the Heisman. But I don't really try to compare myself to him. I feel like everybody has their own unique style. But I do love Eddie, and I love him when he played in the NFL. This team also made the trade to bring in DeMarco Murray this offseason, obviously. How has he been in welcoming you into this building, and how do you feel you two guys can play off each other? He's very welcome. He's a former NFL leading rusher. He works hard in practice, and he leads around the team, whether they're in practice or even in meetings. He carries himself well, and it's been nice working with him because he always gives advice and he's always helpful. He says he doesn't necessarily care how many carries he gets. You just go out each play, do what you can. But can you give kind of an ideal number of carries for each of you to make this offense the most effective? I think he answered that best. You can't worry about the carries. You just got to go out there and make plays and help the offense. It's not all about yourself. It's about the team and helping the team and helping this organization win games.
You said the most important thing there is help the team win games. You're used to winning from Alabama, come off a national championship. What are you trying to bring in to this locker room and onto the field to help this team get back to winning?
Well, I'm a rookie, so I just got to earn my respect and just show them I'm coming to work. I want to help this team win and help this organization. So my thing is earn my respect and show them I'm coming to work.
Is there something, though, about winning teams, and you've been around a bunch of them, that just sets themselves apart, you know, work ethic and attitude, something like that?
I think this leadership, attitude, and being consistent. And, you know, I feel like leadership takes a big role in that, and wanting to be coachable and wanting to learn, and don't think that you have all the answers. It's being coachable, having great leaders, and then a team that's willing to work. I feel like that's the key points to it.
It's been a long run for you, from Alabama through the college football playoff to the combine to the draft, and now here for the offseason program. When you get these 5 weeks or so before training camp, how are you going to spend your time?
I feel like I'll stay on the same schedule. Wake up at 6, go run, go work out. Try to work out 2 times a day, just so my body's well trained and ready to go when we come back.
Sounds good. Derek, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Derrick Henry, 2015 Heisman Trophy winner in college football, now a second-round draft pick, 45th pick overall, and new running back for the Tennessee Titans. He'll be one of about 90 guys that will report to St. Thomas Sports Park a week from Friday, 10 days from now, for the start of training camp, then on the field on Saturday. Lots of practices, about a month to go. They'll have the reunite game with Ken Wisenhunt, the preseason opener that comes up on August the 13th. And they're also home on August the 20th against the NFC champion Carolina Panthers before hitting the road to Oakland for the all-important third preseason game, wrapping up the preseason in Miami. And then, of course, the regular season opener September the 11th, I believe, at Nissan Stadium against the Minnesota Vikings. So we will obviously be all over that over the next 6 weeks or so and continue to talk about this Titans team, that there is some optimism despite the fact that they've won just 5 games over the past 2 years. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some college football. Rick Stockstill, Middle Tennessee coach, stopped in the Sunday Sports Central studio last week. We're going to talk about the Blue Raiders getting set for fall camp, his dynamic pass catch duo, Brent Stockstill and Richie James, what they're going to do on the defensive side of the ball, and much more. So stay tuned. You're watching SportsLine on News Channel 5+.